boys and girls. So, this is my free-to-play World of Tanks account, and yeah. So when I started playing World of Tanks eons ago, when it first came out, and it was in the good old alpha and beta, and back in the day when the graphics were Cecil Pete's, that would have been like there we go. Um, the old graphics you see when they bring it back just for the to show you what it used to be like and how tanks used to be like the memory week there. But so this is my complete free to play account. I did purchase a FV4202 for this account so I could make some flipping credits because all the other tanks I have other than my Super Hellcat, my T50-2, and like the Sexton one, I got that on the Christmas thing, and this PZ3 Osif K, which I got on the Christmas thing too. Um, Basically, it's just all tech tree tanks. This is all the tanks I own. Uh, but I found something out, and I'm just going to share it with the people that are kind of starting out. Make sure you do the missions. You get some pretty cool stuff. Like if you go through the boot camp, you get at the end you get some gold, 3 days of premium time, and then if you keep going to the road to glory, you get 70,000 credits, some experience, 100 gold, another day premium. And I'm doing this second part right now. And when you do this one, and you got to follow it exactly. This second part I'm doing right now, you got to make sure you get a personal reserve on. Once you get 5 battles, when it's all said and done, well, you get a free tier 6 tank. Earn a token and exchange it for any researchable tier 6 vehicle, which is going to work out perfect because of the simple fact that right now, which this is the video I'm kind of showing, is the T1 heavy tank. Well, the next tank I'm in line to get is a tier 6, so I'll use that token to get a free tier 6 tank. I looked, and it still looks like this would be the line to go down if you're trying to um, get to a tier 10 fast. It seems like it's the cheapest. The T110E5 is still a good tank. It's not the old T110E5, but it's still really good. And it's a tier 10. And so far, to be honest with you, I did skip over the M3 Lee. I didn't even want to touch that thing. It's miserable. The M2 medium, I think, I can't remember. I don't think I even purchased that one or used it. The T1 Heavy was like the first one in this tech tree part that I bought, and I'm actually enjoying it. I know that from here on out, the line T32, I don't like the gun that much. It's kind of pitiful for a tier 8. I mean, you got tier 7, tier 6 penetration in a tier 8 tank, so you got to sling a lot of premium, which I don't like doing. Um, in the match you're going to watch, I did have to shoot a lot of premium because of the simple fact that I'm a tier 5 going against tier 6s and getting turret shots. When you're going against tanks and hitting a lot of turrets, well, you either shoot premium or you just bounce all day long. But the next tank, well, like right now, the T1 Heavy, I'm actually enjoying this tank. It's actually pretty damn good. In my account, I think I've got a handful of battles in this tank. In my other account, I basically would free experience like up to the 6, 7 area, and then I would grind up to the tier 10. Um, but I mean, uh, when I say grind, I mean I would purchase back my experience and buy like the 8, 9, and 10. I wouldn't even really have to, play them. But this one, I'm not doing it that way. This one, I am actually playing, from where it's not gonna make me want to smash my head against a wall. But the T1 Heavy, real enjoyable tank to play. It's got a decent gun, decent penetration. M6 is looking a lot better. It's got the same gun as a Hellcat. T29, everybody loves a T29. Get that thing hauled down and just get that gun a singing, you're going to do good. T32, again, uh, crappy pen on the gun, but otherwise the turret is like impenetrable. As long as you can keep it wiggling and they can't hit your commander's hatch. M103, you guys all know I love that thing. And the T110E5, well, what can you say? You're in a tier 10 with a pretty damn good gun, decent armor, all around good tank. But anyway, so I just had a match in this, and this is kind of the gist of it. Other than I keep getting crappy teams, 6 matches, 33% win rate. What are you going to do? But in 6 matches, I'm already at 28% of my gun mark. Now, this gun only does 110, 115, yeah, 150 damage per hit. So 958 damage, average damage is actually not too bad in 6 matches. But I've been actually doing decent on the amount of damage I've been getting. The WN8, really good, 5,809. And I'm getting a class 1 mastery badge, a fighter, fire for effect, curious metal class 2 for killing. Oh, we're at class 3, I'm sorry. So I'm up to 100 kills, and I got a Pesculitis medal for killing 2 artilleries. Got a bond out of that, and experience of 14,871 because it was a 4x weekend, and then I used my manageable bonus. I'm not going to go through all the hits because with these guns, you got to shoot so damn much to do any damage. We did the most damage at 1615, base experience of 991. A little bit more if I would have probably hit a couple of the shots that I missed. Where that's where the aim time on this isn't bad, 2.11, but I didn't let it shrink all the way in. If I would have hit a couple of the shots I missed, I probably would have got an ace tanker. We had 36 shots, 22 hits, 15 pens. So you can see, I mean, I went through my 17 premium rounds, and then I started shooting some HE at turrets on the KV1s, just because it's the turret. I mean, if I was hitting it with an AP round, more than likely I would have been bouncing. I think I did shoot some HE or AP rounds too, though. I had them too. So splash damage of 2. Total damage 1615 from a distance of more than 300 meters, 1234. So you can see it's not, if you let it aim all the way in, pretty accurate. We got hit 6 times, 1 dust, because the armor on this is actually pretty decent. If you can get it hauled down, even the hull on this isn't really bad. It's still 95, and I got hit at pretty, decent angle on it, about a 45, and they were hitting right here, and I was surprised it wasn't going through, to be honest with you, because that's kind of the area you would think to shoot because it's nice and flat. A couple of the rounds did hit right here and bounced off because of the angle, but um, yeah, the armor actually held up pretty darn good. Most of the damage I took was from artillery. None pens 4, hits receiver from splash damage 1, damage blocked by armor 380. Again, it's because it's low tier, so it's like 105, 110 damage per hit. We spotted 1, damage 7, destroyed 4, damage with our assistance 206, and we lost 11,695. I'm not going to complain because, like I said, we were bottom tier, and I ended up shooting a lot of premium. And we've got 2 million credits in this account, 4,130 bonds, and we got a whole bunch of experience we can convert, but I'll do that maybe someday down the road. I don't know. Like I said, basically, this is my free-to-play account. I don't want to really, all this um, premium time I have is from the gift boxes, loot boxes, or whatever. I did get 25 loot boxes for this account just because I know you get a bunch of gold, which in turn, plus, the female crew members and so on and so forth. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, normally I show this part second, but I'm showing this part first just to kind of tell you, if you're working up, the T1 Heavy is actually a decent tank to get into. 128 standard, 177 premium, 38 HE. I've got mine up to 1917 average damage per minute, but I got a really pretty good crew in here with two of the females there, and I got brothers in arms on the rest of them, so not a bad crew, and I'll continue using this crew. I'll move it to the next tank once I get the next one up, and so on and so forth. So this crew will end up being in the T110E5 once I get a tier 10. So they should be, 5, 6. Well, the females will probably be at like 6 or 7 crew skill. The rest of them will probably be at like 4 or 5 crew skills by the time I get there. But yeah, so if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have some gameplay for you in the T1 heavy tank. So hold on. Alrighty, so here we are in the T1 heavy on Pilsen, and I think I got an anonymizer turned on this account too. Doesn't really matter. It's my secondary. It's actually my daughter's account. That's why it says Allie1563. I made an account for her a long time ago, and I think she saw that my son and I were playing tanks a lot when she was a lot younger, and I think she thought that would be a cool way to get to spend more time with Dad. But she never really played the account. And I spent more time with her anyways, other than playing tanks. So I think she just kind of abandoned the account. My son and I actually forgot the account was even there, and I just took a shot to knock that door out. I didn't realize I forgot I had it on premium rounds. Yeah, so my son and I forgot the account was even there, and I got an email on my other email address that this account's linked to saying, you haven't played in a while, blah, blah, blah. And, and this is where, awesome haul down with this thing. Great gun depression, 10 degrees, but I was pre-aiming down here for something coming down either crossing up there or that would come down this way and try and get early lights. But yeah, so we reopened the account back up, basically linked it to the other one because it hadn't been played in so long to get like the bonus tanks or whatever. But anyways, with the ELC, knock his track off, and the one thing about the OI is the gun on it thing, especially he's got the derp gun. God awful. All you gotta do is keep wiggling. So I'm trying to take his track back off. Somebody else took it off. You can see I'm aiming for it, but just not enough oomph to take the track off. I took an extra shot up there just to get rid of that little tractor or whatever it was that was on the corner there. But yeah, so the ELC, he pretty well got wrecked, and so did the OI. I saw the T1 heavy in here, and I thought I'm gonna go in there and just kind of chew him up. Um, I just left it on my premium rounds due to the fact that an I know from the front I'm gonna have a hell of a time trying to pen that with 128, you know, millimeters of penetration. So I kept it on the premium rounds, and also, they've got a couple KV1s, and just standard pen on this is okay if you're top tier, but when you're bottom tier, 177 is gonna make that little extra oomph to knock somebody out. And you'll see the right here, I put it hits his upper plate. I aim for the command, those little hatches there. No such luck. We hit him in the lower plate there, and then we finally take him out. But he ended up taking out our KV-1S. And this is where I'm shooting the KV-1S on the enemy team and trying to hit him in the turret there. And that Brett Panther's just kind of pulling out, giving him side. And we've got 2 premium rounds left, so I'm hoping to make use of those by penetrating the KV-1's turret. Now we're down to standard rounds, and I think the Brett Panther actually took him out. KV-1 on our team had come through here, or actually around the building, I believe, and he got taken out by, I think the Nashorn. Nashorn hits us in the track, and you can see the aim time on this is not the best in the world. He gets a shot in my side, and basically I'm just going to try and push like crazy. The grill gets lit up. I think I'm the one that actually lit him up. This is where you got to wait for that reticle to shrink all the way in, because you can see that my shots just weren't landing like that one there. But that took out a piece of something anyways that was going to be in my way. And now we're on AP rounds. He knocks my track off, I think, or something. Or somebody hits me, knocks my track off. I use my repair kit, and my fat fingers hit the 3 key, which in turn, I changed it over to HE shells on accident. So what I'm going to do is kind of try and use this hill so that I'm basically hauled down. Kind of wait for him. And the view range on this isn't god-awful bad, but it's not spectacular because it's a heavy tank. So I thought to myself, I'm going to go down in this little dip right here. That way I can move down, and pretty much the plan I had was to get down this way somewhere, and then that in turn would put me at an angle where I can see behind that building, and then I can come up on this little ridge and use that to get my gun up high enough to be able to shoot at the KV-1 down there, or KV-1S, whatever it is. But we're doing pretty good on this, and that's why I was saying, see the KV-1, there's no way I'm going to get my gun down that way, so I will do it a little bit backwards. Just bring it up a little bit this way, and that's where we get hit by the artillery, and that's where my fat finger hit the HE shell. So we hit him for 20, and I figured, hell, I might as well leave it on. That one didn't do any damage, and then we finish him off. But you can see we got plugged right in the side there. So we come up and we get a tasty little morsel for an artillery. I got to switch back over to AP now. And again, this is where I should have waited to let it shrink in, and I didn't. But we hit him, and we finish him off. So game, set, match. So that's what I'm saying. This tank can actually take a licking and keep on ticking. Yeah, you can see this round right here. There's a couple of hit right there that bounced. That was the artillery shell, and this was the one from the Nashorn. And I always forget that Nashorn. That's a kind of nasty gun. That thing hits you for like 250 or 300. It's got a bite to it. But yeah, for a tier 5, you get 660 hit points, so you get a pretty good chunk of hit points. I mean, not bad, decent armor, pretty good gun. Like I said, I ended up shooting a lot of rounds. Went right through those 17 premium rounds like I was eating M&Ms. But yeah, for all said and done on that match, I was pretty happy with it. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the replay of the T1 Heavy. And like I said, if you're looking to go up a line, this would probably be the easiest to get into a tier 10, the quickest. But I've got 37,000 matches in my other account, and I think I've got several hundred in this account. So if you're just learning to play World of Tanks, I highly suggest that you really don't skip a bunch. Learn how to play the low tier and work your way up. If you go right into the high tier, you're going to be no help for your team. You'll be in a tier 9, tier 10 tank, not knowing how to side scrape, not know how to go haul down, not know bush mechanics, not know camouflage, and you're just not going to be a help to your team. So make sure you do run your smaller tier tanks to learn how to play the bigger ones once you get to them. That's the best advice I can give you. So you can be a asset to your team, not an ass for your team. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel, you guys. Take it easy, be safe. I hope you had a great Christmas, and I will see you on the battlefield.